Record. Great. Here we are. We're going to talk about PlayPosit today. PlayPosit is interactive video, meaning that you can take a video from YouTube or a screencast you made yourself, and you can add questions and other types of interactions during the video. And your students will watch the video. It'll stop at those interactions, and they have to respond before they can move on. There are a lot of other settings you can set to kind of control what happens during the watching of the video. Our main purpose today is that you know how to access your account and that you understand what the program does, and then we'll follow up with some more in-depth details about the effective use of the program. So to get started, you can go to playposit.com. You can click this link from the right side of the portal page, and when you click login, you're going to make sure that you choose login with Google. So it's this sign in button right here. And I think right off the bat, a lot of people wonder about how do students log in, and that's something we're going to go through today. How do students access the resources that you make for them? So this is the PlayPosit dashboard. I'm going to click on the My Bulbs area. I'm guessing this is probably going to be the home screen, the home base for you. You want to make sure you understand the menus on the left side. Here is My Bulbs. These are all bulbs I have. You can think of them as lessons or activities. PlayPosit refers to them as bulbs. I don't know if it's like I had a light bulb go on. I'm not sure about that terminology, but that's what it is. This is your activity or lesson. So every video is a bulb, and every piece of interactivity you put in there is considered an interaction. So I have a good amount of bulbs in my library. I want you to know that if you had your account and you get here and you see a pop-up about upgrading to PlayPosit 3.0, you want to go ahead and do that. And what it's going to do is copy all your bulbs, and they'll all say inactive, and then any that you want to use, you will have to activate. So that's a point for anybody that might not have used PlayPosit so far this school year, that you will have to make that transition, and you'll be glad you did, because their designer, where you add your interactions, has a lot more features now. On the left side, you also have pre-made bulbs. So notice there are two options at the top: Southwestern School District Media. These are bulbs, activities, or lessons that other folks at Southwestern have made, and their settings are set so that people within the district can access those resources. You can also click All PlayPosit and see bulbs made from all around the country, maybe even the world. I'm not sure if they're a global product. And in here, you can decide if you would want to use any of these. You can click on the three dots to the right and preview it. When you export the worksheet, that will show you I believe it's a PDF of the questions. The preview option brings it up. It will show the video to you. It will let you see the questions, but it won't save any data. There's also a search box here. So if you wanted to look for a particular topic and maybe even modify for your audience, you can do that. If you have a YouTube URL, you could paste it in here and see if someone has already added interactions to that particular video. So here's a video that has voting in the title for the 6th to 8th grade audience. It has 4 stars for rigor. This is a new rating system that PlayPosit was putting into effect, I think, over the past few months. That used to be a user rating, but now they have adjusted that into a rigor rating. Some options on the right here. If you decide, maybe you've previewed it and you're like, okay, this video looks good for me, and you click copy, it's going to copy this into your bulbs. I would always click copy and edit so that you can modify any of the questions or interactions. So when I mentioned the designer, this is what we want to talk about here. You're going to enter the designer. That's where you are designing the interactions. So I like to use this one, or I like to look at an example. This is a 3-minute video. I can see on the lower left. I can scroll right here in the window and see the included interactions that someone has already politely done for us. And on the right side is the video. Now, at the bottom, let's take a quick look. You can see this white bar at the bottom. You can see it best under the video. And every little dot is where there is an interaction. So at 15 seconds, and then if I scroll over here at 1:05, there's a question. And you can see that the question can be either text, you can record the question, you can also record all the answers. Alrighty, so let's talk about something that was new here. You can have a template gallery. So say you get a video and you don't have any questions, you're just making it from scratch. They have some hotspot templates available for you that will put interactions in along the way. Whether you want just a poll question at the end and a free response, or whether you want to have four multiple choice questions at the end. There are some templates here that will make it easy for you to get started. I think we talked about this, and I think Eric's here. They said, how many questions, Max? Like for how many seconds was it a question?
So for every minute, they're saying one question.
So don't overdo it on the questions. You don't want to, if you've ever watched a video and somebody has tried to talk to you like every 10 seconds, it's a little frustrating. So try to space out your questions maybe every minute or so. And it can be hard. I can see here this video is 3 minutes and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 interactions. So it has quite a few interactions. It's pretty simple to add them. Let's take a look at one or two of the easiest options, I think, for adding your own interactions. You click right where you want it. You're probably going to be watching the video a couple of times and add interaction. And here are my choices. You can add multiple choice, fill in the blank, check boxes, free response, a poll, a discussion, and the discussion opens on the side. And even if the kids are watching a video asynchronously, that discussion, if I watch it and at minute 1 I put in a comment, when somebody else watches it at minute 1, my comment will pop up and then they can add a comment too. So the discussion can be used asynchronously, which is perfect for distance learning. Sometimes you can add a pause. So when you add a pause, it'll just pop up some information that you've typed in, but it pauses the video. So I think those are nice as reflection points. Like, did you hear what the person just said? Or what did you think about that? Stop and think, but they don't have to actually respond. It just might be, or you might say, hey, go back 20 seconds if you have that in your settings and watch that part again. And then they have templates here with a word bank, check for understanding and learning objectives. I am gonna test out the multiple choice for you here. You type in your question, but we want to pay attention to the fact that there's a little toolbar that pops up. Here's where you can audio record your question. You can insert an image. This jump button allows you to jump to, I believe, other segments in this video, and then there's also the ability to add other videos into your PlayPosit bulbs. That's an advanced feature. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in my question. You can also add equations. Is he talking about? There we go. And then you're going to type in your answers. Voting. The president. Okay. And then you want to mark off the correct answer. That will be pretty important. Here's some advanced options. Is it required? Does it pause the playback? Which I highly recommend. Do you want to randomize your answer order? Allow more than one attempt. And can they rewind? So this one I like to leave on because maybe they have gotten distracted and the question pops up and they're like, now they can go back and get a little more information. So I think that's nice. And then once you click done, it puts that interaction. You can see I have it here at 27 seconds. I could simply come in here and edit, and I can move where that interaction is, move interaction back, move it forward, do different things. I can duplicate it. So if you have them be in the same similar type questions, you can do that. Let me click edit here. Placement. Sidebar, that's where you want it. Timing. And now if I knew, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I needed that over here. You can see it moving at the bottom as well. And I can just move my interaction to right where I want it. And you can be very precise about this, which I think you probably want to be pretty precise about it. I don't need that question in here, but So for now, I'm probably just going to delete that one so I don't accidentally share this video with someone. So I'm all done with my interactions. And I think that the key part of making sure that this works for you is understanding how to communicate it with students. So I will have to talk, there's a question about jumps, and that will be a question that we'll have to answer specifically, probably outside of this, because I'm going to keep this session specific for like getting started and sharing with students. So I will look at your jumping question for sure. Okay, so now what do we want to do? We want to review and get this to the kids. And that's something that we're going to set up in your PlayPosit settings. That's going to be very important. In my title, I'd like to take copy of out. You can change the whole title if you want. You can adjust your learning objectives. You can set tags, playback options. These are some of those same options we saw for each question. You would probably not want to allow them to skip or fast forward. If you're using it as a study guide, they can retake. And if you want them to have a printable report, definitely. Privacy, so right now, this is set to be visible to my district and institution, which is perfect. It's nice to be able to share those things. If you want to keep it private, not so for just for yourself, but your students will still be able to use it, then you can check this one. I'm gonna do that right now, just because I haven't made any changes to this one. And then I'm gonna save and exit. So here I am back in my dashboard, and this part is super important. So let's go ahead and talk about how to get my 1957 voting machines bulb to my students. Before I can do anything, this is specific for Google Classroom users. So if you're a Google Classroom user, you want to make sure you click on your name on the upper left of your dashboard, click Show Google Classroom Data, and you really only want to do this one time. I talked with the rep. You only want to do this Google Classroom sync one time, unless the students haven't used your bulbs yet. So if you did this before and you haven't been using PlayPosit, fine. If you have been using PlayPosit with kids and you need to add students, then just let us know so we can talk you through that. But if this is your first time, you're just going to go through, bring up your Google Classrooms. You'll probably have to click Allow the first time, and then find the classroom you want. So I've already done this. I'm going to be using this Distance Learning Demos classroom, and you just click Sync. Now I have a ton of classrooms. You would be looking for the ones you're using with your classes for now with distance learning, and click Sync, and just let that process run through. You want to, I have another classroom here. You can just click Sync Learners, and then you're all set, okay? Now, voting machines. I'm ready to assign this. I'm going to go over to these three dots. What you do not want to do is use this share option. You absolutely want to use assign. And because I've already, there's the classroom I just synced, my Tinker classroom, but I want to use my distance learning demos. And I'm going to assign that today. I could assign it here as well. So if you have multiple Google Classroom periods, you can assign it all at once. And then close. Oh, I forgot something. Let's go back and do that again. Hey. Here we go, right here. Get the assign link. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure, let's get back in the right one. Here we go, voting machines. Assign. Here we go, get the assign link. So you will not be passing any data back and forth from PlayPosit into your Google Classroom gradebook. And also you're not going to be pushing the link over to Google Classroom. You're going to copy this link right here. Then you're going to go over to your Google Classroom. I have this one right here, and I'm going to create, in this case, I'm still going to create an assignment. You could create material. I like to create the assignment and have the kids click mark as done. So I know they did it, although you will see it in your PlayPosit data. answer the questions. You could paste the link right in there. You can also add the link this way. And then assign. So I've got it right here. I'm going to put it in my PlayPosit section. And I'm going to check it out over in my distance learning class here. Here it is right here, the one we just put in. So this is a student classroom. I have one student in here. I might be in my wrong classroom. We'll have to check and see. Yep, I'm in my wrong classroom. Let's try it here and see if it works. Oh, yep, so I'm signed in as Harry Trotter. That's my student. And now when I start my video, it had some directions at the beginning. Here's the audio of the directions. The students will click continue.
American History TV's Real America.
And the video will go on and stop at each question, and the student will then answer. So that is the method for assigning the bulb to the students, making sure that when you're in your PlayPosit library, I'm in my wrong library, there we go, my other tab, that you have clicked assign, set the assign date, and that you get the assign link right here. That's going to be the link that you want. And I'm just going to look at this because I feel like I might have had the wrong link in mine. Felt like it said preview, and I didn't really like that. So let's look at it one more time just to be sure. Just going to paste it right in here. Oh yeah, that's right. I talked with the rep, and she just wanted to be sure that nobody was using the share link. That the share link is for sharing PlayPosit videos with your coworkers, but not with students. And I actually, I worked through that with another teacher today. If you are using Schoology, you can use that same assign link, but you will need to create a class in PlayPosit first. That will be the need there. So we have some resources on the distance learning site that we will include there for you so that you'll be able to get started and use PlayPosit with your students over the time of your distance learning absence. Let me know if you have any questions. I know there are only a few of us here, and I have to be